On the offensive end, nobody plays harder. But in the end, if you boil him down to what he is, at his core, he is more interested in personal stats than one-loss record. That's just, I've said this from the start. I've said it for years. I've said it for maybe 6 or 7 years on television, that in the end, Russell is more interested in starring than winning. Just slightly more interested in start. Not that he doesn't want to win or doesn't try to win, but
he feels his way is the best way to win.
It is, and it's not. That's what he feels. There's a feel for how you get a game home when you're the decision maker, when you're the point guard. And the ultimate at that was Mr. Laker, Magic Johnson. And Magic just knew this pass needs to be made to get him that shot to close the deal. Or maybe it's my turn because I got a disadvantage on me on defense, and I can take advantage. I can take him down and post him up and score over him, and we will close the deal that way. Whatever needs to get done, Magic would get done. I don't think Russ has that kind of feel for basketball.
He gonna have that kind of
feel. Well, LeBron obviously does have that kind of feel, but in the end, when you boil down Russ, look at what you just did. You've got a backcourt of two, I'm going to say poor shooters in LeBron and WestBrick, as I've called him many times. So you got LeBrick and WestBrick.
But Skip, if you look at it, Skip, the last two champions, you make it seem like the Milwaukee Bucks shot 75% from three. They were terrible. Look at the Lakers the year before. They were terrible.
But you don't think Chris Middleton can shoot when you need to shoot?
Skip, if you look at it, his average, he's a guy that's average shooting 23 shots a game to get 24 points.
Yeah, but we both agreed he was a clutch closer.
No question, no question. But I ain't got no problem with Bron's clutchness. Well, nobody right now playing any more clutch than GOAT.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw this guy on Friday night. He did it again. He's averaged 30 points a game in 3 gold medal games. We'll talk about clutchness in just a minute, but let's talk about three-point shooting, because last year, Russell Westbrook shot 31.5% from three, and he takes way too many. Of 156 qualified three-point shooters last year, he ranked 150th. 150th of 156. How about free throw shooting last year?
Yeah,
he was 65.6%. That was 103 of 110. What?
Well, obviously, Skip, he's going to have to cut down on the amount of threes that he makes. But this is what he will do. He can be a one-man break. He will push the tempo. Now, Skip, they do give up something defensively. They're not as good defensively as they were last year. Caruso would guard on the perimeter. KCP would guard on the perimeter. But you gave up that to get better offense, to get around LeBron. And nobody plays defense in the regular season anyway.
The Lakers ranked #1 statistically in defense last year. That is not going to happen this time, even though I like Dwight as a rim protector, but he's only going to play, what, 15-ish minutes?
Less than 20 minutes a game. But you still got AD.
The Alex Caruso loss to the Bulls was shocking to me, and I'm going to quote The Athletic the next day, said, "Letting Caruso walk is head-scratching at best and a disaster at worst. He was the Lakers' best perimeter defender and one of the best guard defenders in the league. And he brought back his deal from Chicago for them to match. And they said no." And again, I don't know. The Athletic is questioning what the heck just happened here. I don't know what just happened, but LeBron is going to miss Alex Caruso, as they called him.
But he will, Skip. We know what he thought of Caruso. He loved the basketball IQ that this young man played with.
Well, did he think he was getting too much shine, too much media attention? Well, is it time for THT on TNT to rise and shine? Did LeBron want to clear the decks, get Caruso out of the way, so Talen Horton-Tucker, a clutch client, I might add, can rise?
Stop that, Skip.
Well, is he going to be a big part of the rotation, if not a starter this year?
But who do you think has the more upside, Caruso or THT?
You know, I would have said a year ago, like I would have laughed at that and said THT. But the more I watched Caruso, and the more I tried to laugh him off, I couldn't laugh him off.
Skip,
you know what? He can play.
Yeah, he can play, but I believe upside.
And you know what? He can play with LeBron because they seem to vibe off each other. They had a weird connection.
You remember when LeBron and AD was out and THT took the game over against the Knicks?
He's capable. And is he still 20? I think he's been 20 for 3 years.
He's 20.
Am I right?
So I think he's about to turn 21.
He's the ageless wonder, right? Okay, so I give you that. And obviously you had to re-sign him, and you did.
Yes.
Another nice move that will be undercut by Russell Westbrook. So let's look at what Westbrook has been doing, shall we? If you look carefully at his stats, look what he's done with his turnovers. Last year, he led the league in turnovers, and he's led the league in turnovers 3 times, and he's been second in turnovers 4 times.
Yeah.
That is going to drive LeBron James out of his mind before next season is over, and I'm talking about regular season.
Right.
And then we look at usage rate. How long does he have the ball in his hands? Would you believe that he's led the whole NBA in usage rate 4 times, and he's been second 4 other times? Yeah. That's over the last 11 years. So 8 of 11 years, he's been 1 or 2 in the league in how much time he has the ball in his hands. It just doesn't work. LeBron James, I'm going to say it again. I always tell you this, and you discount it. LeBron James is still the best passer in basketball. I think he was born to be a point guard, to be a Magic Johnson. Yeah. And he needs the ball in his hand because he needs to initiate.
It's wearing him down, Skip. He's going into year 19, and you ask LeBron to do what he was doing in basically his whole career, and to maintain that level of play where he takes on all the responsibility in year 19 was asking a bit much. Now, I saw Russell Westbrook play with James Harden. James Harden averaged 30, Russell averaged 25. So I know Russell Westbrook can play with another superstar. We've seen him do that. We saw him play with Bradley Beal, average a triple-double. Bradley Beal came down to the last game, was second in the league in scoring. Yep. The question of the matter is, when you got 3 guys, somebody's going to have to sacrifice. Now, we saw what James Harden, we saw KD, we saw Kyrie. Kyrie and James Harden is very similar to Harden and Westbrook. But we saw Kyrie says, Harden, you're going to be the point, I'm going to be the 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, Russ is going to be the point. I don't know if LeBron's going to play the 3 or the 4. AD's going to play. Probably AD will probably start off at the 4. Late in the ball game, he will play more 5 this year than at any other point in time in his career.
So I think you're telling me that LeBron wants to save some energy so he can pour more energy into scoring as opposed to distributing, because ultimately he is chasing the greatest scorer in NBA history, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Am I right?
The fact of the matter is, Skip, we're right here. It ain't no sense in denying. Skip, you can't deny it. It's just like saying, well, Tom Brady is not chasing Drew Brees. He's right there. So he might as well, and by game 4, he might as well become the all-time passing leader in the NFL.
Is that a way to win one more championship, a 5th championship for LeBron James, to concentrate on scoring over distributing? Because you have picked the worst distributor possible in Russell Westbrook, to me. But again, he's not a naturally gifted point guard.
Didn't he lead the league in assists?
Yes, he has, but he does it all the wrong ways, to me.
Well, AD will catch a lot of lobs. Bron will catch a lot of lobs. Skip, he's going to have to cut down on the turnovers. He's going to have to cut down on the bad shot selection. Yep. I believe he's willing to do that. I believe that was a conversation that they had at LeBron's house, AD house. Maybe they went over to Russ's house. But I believe this is a conversation that they had and said, we can make this work.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's my final takeaway from this. I'm going to put your man LeBron James on the couch for a moment, and I'm going to honor him. I'm going to reward him with what might be the shrewdest move of his career, maybe for all the wrong reasons. I believe that he chose Russ for 2 reasons. If he wins with Russell Westbrook as his point guard, he will be able to say, I did something that Kevin Durant could not do. I did something that James Harden could not do. I did something that Kawhi didn't want to do. I won with Russ. And if it blows up, if it is a disaster, guess what? He has got the ultimate scapegoat, the quote goat that you call quote unquote goat, needs scapegoats. This is the ultimate scapegoat, because you will be the first to pounce on Russell Westbrook after some high turnover game and say, well, we can't win with that.
Well,
right?
you can't. You can't win if one of your key players is not playing up to par. You can't win with that. But Skip, the thing is, this is what we know. Even though J.R. Smith had the all-time gaffe in a finals game, you didn't blame J.R. You blamed LeBron James because you said
I did because he deserved it.
See,
but I was the only voice of reason because everybody else said it's his fault.
No, it's Skip. And all I'm saying is, and that's what's going to happen now, when you're the best player, yes, they'll blame Russ, but they said Russ should not have been. You will say LeBron James shouldn't have put Russ in that situation. He should have taken the shot, or he should have been distributing the basketball instead of Russ.
Well, isn't Russ set up to be the ultimate scapegoat here?
Russ is a superstar. Russ needs to do his job. He does his job. AD does his job. LeBron does his job. I like their chances.
I like the Nets' chances a lot better than I like the Lakers' chances because they even added little Patty Mills, who took over the Olympics for Australia, right?
Yeah, he did. He got unbelievable.
Here we go.
But see, I mean, we've never seen Patty behave like that before in a game in the NBA.
No, well, maybe after he got out from under Pop, he got to do what he needed to do.
Out from under Pop. Pop got him a championship.
Oh, really? Pop went along for the ultimate ride in that championship. He was the only thing that worried me.
No, I'm talking about for the Spurs. Would they beat the Heat?
I got it.
When Patty Mills went crazy.
Yep. Well, he never got to play enough to my taste, and I was his biggest fan.
Guys,
so,
what?
Good luck with your Lakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep that same.
And welcome to L.A., Russell Westbrook.
Good luck with your Clippers.
No, I don't think that.
I love my Clippers.
Genuine.
We got it. We're going to walk it all back, right? Here we go.
There it is.
You're going to run it back.
Well, you guys were talking about Kevin Durant, so how about we continue talking about KD? Did he solidify his standing as the best player on the planet? And did Tom Brady steal the show this weekend, as he often does?
Yes.
Oh, we got a packed show. Don't go anywhere.